Alright guys, what's up, it's Paddy here, and today I'm just going to be doing a intro tutorial, and this is going to be the start of a new series. I'm going to be making a bunch more, and if you guys want to see anything in the next few tutorials, just leave a comment or PM me. And anyways, today's tutorial is just going to be on smooth animation, because I was looking through a couple of my intros. I went down the comments, and most of them said, can you do a tutorial on how you made your animation, blah blah blah. So I'm just going to jump right into it. As you can see, I've already got my composition made, and it's all good. So if you need to make one, I'll just pause the video here and carry on when you're done. But yeah, so first thing you want to do is you want to come down here into your composition box, right click, new, and shape layer. And when I animate, I always use title and action safe, and if you guys don't know what title and action safe is, if you come to here, it'll say choose grid or guide options. If you click that and go to title and action safe, you'll get this. So now, what I'll animate in is I'll animate a rectangle, and if we just come up to our box here with our shape layer selected, if we click and hold shift, if you're a Photoshop user, you'll already know this, it'll keep the shape perfect. So you want to come up here and you want to click the selection tool, or V on the commands, and you want to click the square and bring it into the middle. And once you've done this, you can adjust it, but as you can see, this is me not holding shift, and then even if you've messed up, if you hold shift, it'll click straight back in. So I'll animate it to around this big, and you can just click outside your composition to deselect it. So now if we just go into our shape layer, and you want to click this down arrow, go into your contents and into the rectangle one, you want to go into the transform rectangle one, and the way I animate is it's actually quite simple, and you can do this in transform rectangle, or you can do it in transform, which is here. And I'm actually going to do it in the normal transform, because you can use this technique with any shape, and you can do it with pictures as well, so it works either way. But not everything has the content, but more or less everything has transform. So what we're going to do is we're going to keyframe our scale, and I animate backwards, and this might be a bit confusing, but it saves so much more time. And if you click the key there, drag the keyframe over, it's about 1 second. Now if you just type in 0 there, or drag them down, both down to 0, I have this chain selected, so it constrains the proportions, and it makes it both drop down, both axes. And then now, as you can see, it's just a really block solid linear animation, and it just stops. Now this isn't too interesting, and it seems a bit slow, so I'm just going to pull that keyframe in a bit more. And what I'm going to do now is go to about maybe 2/5 of the way through, and I'm just going to crank this up to about 110, 111, anywhere around there. It doesn't need to be perfect, and as you can see, you have this now. And it's not a very good animation, of course. It just looks really solid and blocky. Now, since we've got our basic animation down, we're going to go into scale and make sure you have this selected. And not many people use this, except from a few people that I've seen, like Flan Design, Mr. Yashi, people like that. But if we go to here, it's a graph editor, and if we click this, you'll get this. And I know guys, it's confusing, but if you scrub through, as you can see, these lines act as the animation. So it's solid line up, solid line down, and there's no ease in whatsoever. So if we click this line, hold shift and click this line, it'll highlight both animations. And I'm sorry if this gets a little bit confusing, guys, but if you don't get anything, just leave a comment and I'll try my best to reply. But once you've selected these two lines, if you come to the third selection along, it should say convert selected keyframes to auto Bezier. And if you click this, you'll get kind of bendy lines, and if we just click off that now, as you can see, it curves, and then it's weird. And for those who haven't seen this before, you'll notice a big difference in your animation. As you can see there, it kind of eased in a little bit. So what we want to do is, if we click our second keyframe along and just turn this so it doesn't go any higher than we want, and if we come to our last keyframe and do this, this is what I'm going to use as an example. As you can see, this is a really steep line. The steeper it is, the faster it is. That's pretty much the thing about it. And if you have a curve kind of acts as an ease in to the animation. So if that doesn't make sense, as you can see, this is kind of like a backwards S shape. The bottom of the S, it goes fast and then it eases in because it's not steep. And that's, if you like do it with your finger, even if you make like an S shape, it kind of comes together and shows that it eases in. And what I like to do is I like to make the start of my animations fast. So like this, so it's like a vertical line almost up, a nice slow curve, and then drops in. So now if I come back, run preview, as you can see, the animation's a lot more smoother, it's a lot more professional. Now, to add rotation as well, we're also going to use the graph editor, but to get in and out of this, just simply click the graph editor button, and we're going to keyframe the rotation now. And if I just keyframe that there and come to just before the end, so it gives the rotation a bit more of a chance to finish, I'm going to rotate this to about 135. And if we just do a run preview of this now, as you can see, it looks alright, but the rotation kind of I can't really say it, disrupts it, or disrupts it. That's there you go. But we're going to do the same as the scale, but we're going to go onto the rotation, click both, and the more keyframes you have, you'll have to go through them all, click shift, click shift, click shift, holding shift the whole time. But as you can see, we just got one, just click that, go to our converted keyframes, and if it's just a single keyframe, what I like to do is make it like this shape, so it's a simple like curved line almost. And what you'll see now is a fast rotation as it comes out, and then a smooth drop back in. And normally I'd animate everything in between 1 second, because I'm going to show you guys something now that'll make your animations look even better, and that's motion blur. And if you guys don't know about motion blur, if I just turn my title and action safe off real quick, motion blur, it kind of blurs frames that are fast and gives it a really nice effect. It's kind of like Twixtor in a way, if you guys know what Twixtor is. And you can enable motion blur for all layers with motion blur switch set. And if you click this and then click motion blur, as you can see there now, let me try and find a bigger one. As you can see, it's blurred, and if I just turn this off, on, off, on, I don't know if you guys can see that. That bit of a change. I'll render this in 720p, so you guys can probably see it if you turn your resolution up. But if you have it on, it kind of unsharpens the edges. So anyways guys, this is our final product. It's really simple, and yeah, I hope you guys liked, and if you guys want to see anything, remember to just maybe link me and then get back. So yeah, thanks.